it's so ridiculous that the word fat is so offensive in our culture. People go way out of their way to avoid saying the word fat. They're like, oh yeah, you know Gretchen, she's like big boned and a little bit fluffy, you know? and I'm just wondering, like, what would our world look like if we did that with every physical characteristic? Like, oh yeah, Gretchen, she's a little bit like taller, like she's a little long boned, like gravity just didn't hold her down like the rest of us, you know? And I think that's ridiculous. Also, a lot of people who are fat recognize that they're fat, and when they say something about it, everyone shoots them down like, oh no, you're totally not. What if they did that for other physical characteristics, like, yeah, I have blue eyes. Oh no, not at all. Why would you ever say that about yourself? And then it's just awkward. So one time, this Navy recruiter called me in high school, and for whatever reason, I pretended to be interested in the Navy because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. About a half hour into the conversation, it was like, oh yeah, what's your height and weight, by the way? And I told him, and he was like, oh, you're a little overweight for the Navy. I think he was afraid that once the submarine went down, it wouldn't be able to come back up. But like, you know, the Navy needs to get on their science game because last time I checked, fat floats. And they would save a lot of money on life vests if they just had all fat people in it. It would be great. I had this job at my hometown where I was an ice cream cashier. And I always felt bad because we did upsales where they would come up to the register and we would have to offer them the larger size before we offered them the smaller size. So whenever a fat person would come up, I'd be like, hey, do you want the large or the small? And I was worried that by saying large that they would think that I was implying that they would get the large size because of their size, which is not what I was trying to do. So then I started this new thing where I was like, okay, do you want the large or the small? And then this guy was like, wait, are you trying to put me on a diet right now? And that's my life in a nutshell. Anyway, more on the fat topic. I have a Fitbit under my sleeve. Anyone else have one? Sweet. So for those of you who aren't familiar, it's basically like this overrated wristband that makes people look at you and think that you're trying to be healthy. So my $150 went, you know, it's worth it. And so whenever I go to the dining hall, I feel like one of those married men who go into the bar and like hide their wedding ring. I'm like there with this huge plate of french fries and I transfer it over to my other hand and like stick it in my back pocket so no one will judge me. I get away with it every time. So far no one said anything. It's pretty great. So anyway, something to take away. If you have a fat friend out there, make sure to give them some extra love.